Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very somber location, a very introspective location, but nonetheless, a place where goddamn auto race is going to happen. We are live from the Desolate Ellipse here in frosty hell, Michigan. Hell is not frozen over today, quite temperate today, but this is the Diddler Cup, race number 10 of this, the 2019/2021 season. My name is Chip Chapman. I am joined, as always, by the same two men on either side of me here in the commentary booth. It is to my right, Lightning Lord Shivers.
Damn, it feels like a funeral in here at all times. And it's not just because I drove into Michigan.
And it's also because, hopefully, nobody drove into a sea of people. That'd also been a problem. And to the left of me, as always, is the man, the myth, the legend, Beaumont Jenkins.
I'm neither one of those two according to court documents, but I will guarantee you one thing. I ripped the fart in the middle of public and everyone started giving me weird eyes like on this. At least I didn't get quarantined like that last time. But I gotta say, this is a very depressing location there.
Yeah, it's...
Hey, now, at least when you farted last time, you know, that if you'd done it in the winter, that would have driven up the temperature around here about 10 degrees.
Yeah,
go on, Chip, tell us about this damn race.
Anyway, yeah, we are here live from the Desolate Ellipse. It is the Nihilist Arby's endless monotonous loop. We are not going endlessly. We are going in a loop today. We are riding here from the Desolate Ellipse. This is our race info brought to you by Gum Booze, the only stick of chewing gum that contains a full day of drinking. Gum Booze, taste the alcoholism. We are at the Desolate Ellipse. We are going 75 laps, 150 miles around this 2-mile circle of apathy. It is a straight up circle.
Now, I thought we already raced it out of the racetrack.
That's apathy. That's not apathy racetrack. Yeah, this is not the apathy racetrack.
Yeah, you're
that's
right.
fair. No, right. Apathy racetrack is down the road, of course, here in Hell, Michigan. But this is the Desolate Ellipse. Pit window, about 35 to 39 laps, which is actually a good answer to have, because the first time I asked them, they were like, don't matter. I was like, no, I do kind of want to know that answer, because that's the info we got to present here. Cautions will be on, so any sort of issues that anybody has with the cars, any sort of wrecking we might have, we'll bring out the yellow flag. And of course, we're going to have 2 miles. It is technically, because it's at that 2-mile range, it could qualify as a super speedway if you really want to get technical. But it's a circle, so they're going to be hugging those turns constantly. That is not getting speed on this track is going to be really tough, ain't it?
There are going to be some jerks out here too. I mean, we're going to be seeing a lot of circle jerking out here.
Oh, fair enough.
That's right. We're going to be seeing blocks faster than you could say Appalachian State has defeated Michigan in the first week of the season. Now let's talk about the keys of the race.
Yes, these are the keys to the race, brought to you by DiscountCondoms.com. Your only place for discount condoms. Your only place for condoms that are probably fine. DiscountCondoms.com.
That's right. Now, you want to beware the crippling... I can't read this word, Chip.
Ennui, I think is how it's pronounced. You want to beware the crippling ennui, because it is heavy.
Look, last time I checked, John Paul Henry's still looking pretty good. I think he's in for a good chance to win this race.
He's got a good chance. That's fair enough. I don't know.
He doesn't seem like he's crippling. I say he's getting good health. You want to contemplate your bleak existence, something I've done all the time when I'm about 8 beers in.
Yep.
Our sponsor of this race told us nothing matters. Enjoy Arby's.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty fair.
The perfect race for Jim Blossoms, because he is having a bleak existence and he is crippled.
Technically, yes. All of that is accurate, and as you can see, we have you get a good look right now at our front row. You can see on the pole today for the first time this season, but the 5th time in his career, is Paul Alcohol in that 35 Ford Pinto, number 35, part of War Machine Racing. He's sponsored today by People.
Oh, magazine.
Yeah, the magazine. I think. That looks like the magazine cover. I mean, anytime I ask them, they just say we're sponsored by People, and they just scream People.
Hey, most magazines I see of that where there's people inside of them, usually they're naked.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well,
They
that
all went digital. Loan the fans.
Yeah, that's true. We gotta talk. We gotta get the executives on the phone, see if they can contact loan fans.
I gotta call my bank and see why I'm getting charged.
Yo, where are we gonna get sponsored by them ball trimming services? That's what I want to know.
I mean, we're racing. This ain't no ball sport here. It does take balls of a horse, but
that's right. And
that's
why we got a horse with balls.
Machete.
Sasquatch machete.
Sasquatch machete. It's a big blade that you use to trim your ball hairs.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm writing that one down because I'm gonna get on the phone. I'm gonna get on the phone with Sasquatch Machete and see if we can get ourselves some sponsorship maybe in the future. Let's go ahead and remind everybody what happened last race. Last race we were at Tulsa at 2 Par Speedway, and basically a lot of this happened. It was the Jock Croc Athletic Cookware 350, and basically a lot of this happened. There was just a lot of wrecking. And boy, was there just a lot of wrecking.
If the jumps didn't kill you, this corner right here will.
Yeah, there you see, Fat Daryl just completed the greasy knoll. The greasy knoll did it, and it was and also some of that. Yeah, there you see Steve Thompson and Bob Brofsky going off the track. Brofsky taking the tumble, and of course, but yeah, mostly just a lot of just wrecking. Like there goes Jean-Paul Henry. Hopefully, he has a better time. He was experiencing some Jean-Paul Henry.
We were just talking about him in the pre-race note.
Well, considering the bad time he had last week, gonna hopefully have a better one. Can only go up. He is the points leader right now after 9 races so far. Yet to win a race. Kevin Boner-Pillman in second place in the points. Not yet won a race. 3, 4, and 5 have all those names highlighted in yellow. Our race winners so far this season. 16 drivers will qualify for the playoffs, which happens after 15 races. If you win a race, you qualify. If there are multiple spots afterwards, it goes to the highest in points. So points do matter in this case. It ain't no points don't matter. Points do matter here. And you can see some of the drivers at the tail end of the standings need to work their way back up in this case. That being said, we are on our way. Moving over here, we have got so much to go for. We got a lot of race coming. It is going to be a
fast racing.
Yeah, we got a lot of fast racing. We got the issue where we don't know where the line is going to be on this track. That is a big thing. Anytime you ask somebody who works in this track, where is the line? They just shrug and say, what does it matter? And I'm like, that doesn't help me. Don't help me at all.
You got to give us concrete answers here.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we got concrete on some of the pit. Like they've lined it with some pit lane, but it's mostly an asphalt surface.
I was gonna say, yeah, and by the way, the concrete they do have here is dangerous as hell. Let's just be let's
we
wouldn't
have had it any other way, to be honest.
Oh hell no,
it's all cracked and the water's dirty, and I think I found the Constitution in the schoolhouse. There's a dog barking lasers. It was weird.
I believe you.
And what do you guys have that dream before?
No.
I mean, all I ask in my dreams is for dogs with some freaking laser beams on them. Honestly.
I usually just have the dream with the backwards talking people and the flaming cards, but that's just me, I guess. Anyway, I think as I think back on that dream of mine, I think I need to pray. I think we all need to pray.
Let's pray.
So before we get going with this goddamn auto race, let us thank the Lord and give in the official race prayer today from the Universal Nihilist Church, which is located in wherever, is Reverend Carl Hungus.
Working with the funny stuff.
Look at you things you haven't dreamed of, Lebowski.
Yeah, he believes in nothing.
He believes in nothing, Lebowski, nothing.
And tomorrow we come back and we cut off your Johnson.
I said we cut off your Johnson!
Just think about that, Lebowski.
Ah, you big penis, Lebowski.
Nee, die stamp aan het ins Gebüsch. Ja,
For some guys who believe in nothing, they really are focused on penises.
Damn, that's right.
I'm very confused about that. Well, Amen. I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, now I know what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps.
That's fair. Yeah, you don't want to find a stranger in the Alps. That's true. Because another movie there was a movie I saw where anytime someone gets found in some mountains, got to be gonna be eaten. That ain't good either. So,
amen.
Anyway, yeah, I guess amen. So, I think we're ready to get this goddamn auto race started. I think we are. But boys, shall we go ahead and get down to our honorary starter to give the command?
That's right.
I think so.
Well, given the official command here from the Michigan Autobahn Society is Uli Kunkel. Go ahead and get him going. Okay, yeah, we got it. Yeah, thank you. Cut his mic, please. Thank you. I was not expecting that to be. We've already been through that, but sounds just like the other guy. It's very strange. But
where the hell is this place?
This is Michigan.
This is where
they play bad football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be a nihilist. I can understand why there's so many nihilists here. Yeah, I guess so. Well, nonetheless, let's go ahead. And as we, I guess that's kind of our command, and these Madden machines are getting worked up. Let's get to the starting grid and show you how everybody, including your favorite driver, hopefully, is shaping up on the front row today. Paul Alcohol on the front row. He's the pole sitter, along with Petrol Top-Off in that Sports Naz number 90 car. On row 2, it's Jeff Tanaka, sponsored by Jeff Boyardee today, and Jim Blossoms in the number 41 Ford Pinto, sponsored by Bloodco, I believe the Umbrella Corp that Plasma Train is under. On row 3, we got Bucky Dusha in that Inut Brubke, number 55 Ford Pinto, and Blario Blandretti driving the Blardy's car, number 22. That is a Toyota Yaris from Most Glorious Motorsports. On row 4, Paul Walker in the 00, Nihilist Arby's Ford, sponsored by Nothing, and Jeff Shanice, sponsored by Jeff's Chinese, and that number 38 Toyota Yaris for Iron Jeff Racing. On row 5, it's Hans Vasspulver in that number 99 Slap Mart Chevy. And Morris Mayfield in that 69 car.
Nice.
On row 6, it is Steve Thompson on that We Buy Drugs number 17 Ford Pinto. And another Ford. Smiley Van Vuren in that number 11 KFC I Ate the Bones Ford. Couple of Fords on row 6. They're running pretty dang good on this racetrack. Guess it makes sense for Michigan. On row 7, it's Jean-Paul Henry, the former series champion in that number 40 Ludger Beer Bomb Chevy Pinto, and Ricky Walton, who apparently is sponsored by Mountains. I'm confused by that, but Mountains. Not even the Mountains, not any mountains, just Mountains. Woo-Bah Ball is on row 8 in that 103 Hugger Oranges Pontiac Bonneville. And I missed who that was on the outside with him. But anywho, Ennio Sperini in that 28 car. Nikolai the Soviet driving bear and his teammate Bobrovsky are on row 9 in the number 2 and number 1 Dodge Strategist, respectively. Giacomo on that number 4 Kiss War Machine. I don't even know which one that is on there at that point, but Jeff Gordon the horse on the outside in the gunk car. On row 11, it is El Matador Toto Rosanna in the number 75 car, sponsored by the University of Bob Seger. And on the outside, it's Fat Darryl, and that's So Much Chicken 81. On row 12, Big Daddy Thibodeau, driving that number 62 Sinead car, and his teammate, the 13-year-old, driving the number 13 Florida Georgia Lime Dodge Triple X Macklin. On row 13, it is our defending series champion, Joe John Winchester, in that Just Guns, number 47 Ford, and Rev Brain Pastor Chavez in the number 33 Toyota Yaris, sponsored by Yes. On row 14, it's Bowie Jessup in that number 9 Chevy Gumboo's car, of course, for DWI, driving for DWI, and Thicker Richard Ketchup, sponsored by Good Gravy today. On row 15, it's Doug Pork with that All the Ham Pontiac Bonneville, and Richard Blood with that number 51 Box of Wine Chevy. And at the back of the pack, it is Mr. Naga's most glorious driver, that number 10 Mr. Naga sponsored Toyota Yaris, and Kevin Boner Pillman in the Pen 15 team, driving that Dongarex Injectapen car.
All right.
And well, here we go. That is our starting grid for this race. And there we see the pace car. A featureless white car. And
that sounds about right for Michigan.
Yeah, that's about right for Michigan.
No air conditioning on that.
Featureless and white. Nothing more Michigan than those two adjectives, I think.
Just like my ex-girlfriend.
Well, that was
okay. Corso, chill the hell out.
He's fine. He's probably
Corso,
fine.
let's get the hell out of there.
He lost the pack. He just said, "Fucking, I'm out of here." Holy hell!
That's just what you want to see out of a good pace car driver. I'm going to be real interested to see if Joe John Winchester could do what no other Diddler Cup driver has done before and win 3 in a row. He's won the last 2 races, the only driver to win back-to-back, but he's going to have a long way to go if he's going to win this one.
Yeah, he's
Back
starting
to back,
the back.
Just like the way you did it
row
when
13.
you want to start. When you want to do it circle jerking, you do it back-to-back, so that way it's not gay.
I mean, if that's what you're telling yourself, then hey, I'll support that if that's what works for you. That being said, oh good God, Lee Corso, he's apparently the turning works on that pace car pretty nicely, I guess.
It's a perfect circle.
Yeah, it is a perfect circle. But what we're seeing already, look at how high the banking is on these turns, and this is consistent. These drivers are going to be exhausted from having to constantly work that steering wheel. You don't get straightaways. You got to make your own speed. You got to work your speed. You don't get to work your speed into the turn because you're already into the turn and you're going to be into it for 75 laps because let's reach over, strap something on, and let's have a goddamn auto race. Let's go,
Yeah!
Woo! Well, here we go, and look at, they're already going 3 wide. Well, they were for just a split second, but my goodness, Paul Alcohol, your race leader, takes him to the green flag. And he's got Jeff Tanaka right behind him, just holding off. And Jim Blossom, strong qualifying effort for Jim Blossoms, is pushing up on that high line. Gonna be really interesting to see what works. Henri is dipped low, already trying to go 3 wide. I need somebody to go with
about this Desolate Eclipse, man, because nothing matters and none of these lines are actually real. You know, you can pretty much run any line you want. They say you can run any line you want. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters in this race.
Enjoy
this race
Arby's.
is like cruise line. It's like the points don't matter.
Yeah. And and just to prove that, look at Paul Walker in the namesake of this race, that Nihilist Arby's 00 car, taking a 3rd line all by his lonesome. He's actually got Steve Thompson trying to get a draft off of him. I mean, no matter what, you can find a line, but you need somebody to go with to keep that speed up, and he's got Steve Thompson in that 17 to do it with him.
It reminds us of a lot of those times where we totally legally race at the Daytona Speedway.
Yep.
Because it's going to have a similar character. It's like a pack race, and you got to have momentum behind you if you want to work your way up to the front, the way that Jeff Tanaka's just done by leading that last lap at 233 miles an hour.
Yep, 233 on a circle. That is amazing. There are no straightaways to gain speed. That is just pure unadulterated horsepower as they are constantly jerking those wheels around this circle. That is the true jerk of the circle that we are having here as Tanaka has taken the lead, but he's got Paul Alcohol right behind him, so we're going to see how Tanaka can run in some clean air. We see how spread out they are. We're going 4 wide near the front as Bucket Dushan, who just clocked 2nd place on the last lap, is putting a charge in, and he's going side by side. We're going to see some really good side-by-side racing. As remember, leading a single lap in this race gets you 5 extra points in the standings. Leading the most gets you 10 on top of whatever you win from finishing the race. So that's going to be some battles lap by lap if they stay this close together, boys.
That's right, and they're averaging 240 miles an hour. You know, I heard other crappier, poopier, inferior forms of stock car racing. They're actually trying to take horsepower out. And you know why I say that? Fuck y'all.
You know what? Not only do we not... Yeah, we even have a horse in the dang race. That's how much horsepower we put in there. We put literal horses in the horsepower.
Horses, bears, 13-year-old children who ain't even licensed to drive on the road, but they'll still joyride anyway.
Exactly.
Government official.
People just out of comas. People probably going back into coma soon.
It's the parts unknown on a parts lap of the race.
Oh my God, is it actually already? Oh my God, well let's tell us right now it is lap 7, a 7-5 already around this Desolate Ellipse, and that is brought to you by Parts Unknown, Unknown Auto Parts. You can get yourself something.
You can get yourself a bike horn for a Catherine's wheel.
You can shuffle into any Parts Unknown inside of Upper or Lower Michigan. You could shuffle in looking depressed and downtrodden, and you could just ask for whatever. The car's going to break down about 15,000 miles anyway.
Yep.
It doesn't matter.
You can urinate into a Coke can, hand it to the cashier, and you'll still get store credit.
Pretty much. You know, I understand that if you want to, because there's such a problem with depression, they try to, give people Prozac and other sorts of uppers like that. Except they call them Youpers here. I don't understand, but if you ever feel you need some medication, you get yourself some Youpers, and you'll be. These drivers are probably all hopped up on Youpers somewhere.
All hopped up on Bob Youpers.
Yes, exactly. But Parts Unknown Auto Parts has already sponsored the lap 7. 3 laps ago, but we got a new leader. It is Bucky Dushan, and that is a car that has been
eat ass.
Absolutely.
It's my motto right there. Hell yeah, Boma.
What he is eating is some in-oot-ut brubgi, which I don't know exactly what that means.
It's strange, because ain't they just in California or something?
Yeah, well, Spubby's got the, I don't know, I mean, I guess maybe they're trying to expand a little bit. I don't exactly quite know.
Trying to diversify the business model. Look at Paul Walker work down low line. If he gets some momentum behind him, he's going to take the lead of this damn race.
Well, what a great thing to be saying if Paul Walker driving the Nihilist Arby's car at the front of the Nihilist Arby's race. And he is, we're seeing a great long shot of this absolutely despondent crowd just sitting on their hands, staring, no cheering, no hooting, no hollering.
It's like
just
a
staring off in the middle
Castles
distance.
concert.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's what the kids, that's what the fellers down there at the juvenile school tell me.
Yep. Well, Bucky Dushan continues to lead this race. He is on that high line with Paul Alcohol right behind him. He's got a good drafting partner to give him a good push along those high lines. He still has the lead in this one, but Paul Alcohol, and just to show you, right behind him, Paul Alcohol, second place. Taking a look at Triple X Macklin, who has moved all the way up to 11th place and has taken that low line, but has Mr. Naga's Most Glorious Driver right behind him to give him a push.
Remember, this is an actual child. He has no sense of self-preservation because he's 13 years old.
He ain't no better.
He's probably been in and out of the juvie, which is what we call the juvenile facility, not to be confused with the rapper Juvenile.
Of course, many people do.
Of course, they call it the Mexican, the Hispanic version. They call it the juvenile.
Yeah. They have really bad. And that's the thing. Yeah, I understand. They have so many juvenile warriors that come out of those juvie halls down in the Spanish-speaking places in Latin America. Of course, Paul Alcohol is retaking the lead. Bucky Dushan still looking for his first win of the season. As things fall, he is sitting in, what place is he in? I'm looking at my notes. He's in 9th place in the points. Currently in the playoff race, he is in 10th, so he is safely in on points as it stands. But man, you really want to get that win just to kind of calm yourself down. Speaking of
Giacomo, for this race, I mean, his facial hair on the one half of his face is looking trimmed and proper. He has not yet stripped himself down naked in the front seat of his car yet.
Yeah, Giacomo, yeah. Still yet to get a win this season. He's only 17th in the points. He is in the hunt right now, but he is on the outside looking in when it comes to the playoff picture.
Look at the incredible speed, knowing that if any one of these drivers was to make a hard right turn in the middle of the pack, somebody is going to die, whether that's going to be one of the competitors or several hundred spectators. And you know what? To the spectators, it doesn't even matter. They'll probably welcome it.
You'll probably break the sound barrier or the fourth wall.
Maybe they'll flinch. I don't know. I feel like nothing bothers these Michiganders. I mean, if they're
a tennis ball at someone's head and they just shrug.
At the front of the pack.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, we're going 4 wide at the front, and Paul Walker is trying to take the lead from Hans Vaspulver. Look at that. Oh, Bowie Jessup trying to make it, and Paul Walker has in fact led this race at lap 18, taking 1 lap down off of, Hans Vaspulver led it for a single lap, but in comes Paul Walker. 5 big points for that 00 car. You might think that nothing matters, but those 5 points will in fact matter. Paul Walker currently 9th in the playoff hunt, 7th in the points, yet to get a win. Only 6 drivers have won races this year so far. Of course, Hans Vaspulver, Joe John Winchester, and Smiley Van Buren, who we're looking at right now, conveniently enough. That 11 car all by his lonesome.
Ultra low line work. This remind me of one of them, like they have the pack racing and then bicycle races, which I still maintain is better when they were pumping each other full of EPO and all that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but
no doubt about it.
A lot more dangerous.
Look, we got 6 wide. Are we going 6 wide with Triple X Macklin? Wait, I mean, if he's going to need somebody to go with him, and he's going to get caught out unless he can slide up behind that number 10 car, which I think he might have to do. Oh no, he's got some help now. Steve Thompson and actually Reverend Pastor Chavez made a pull down to the inside as well. And good God, there's Smiley Van Buren. And okay, Triple X Macklin slid back in. I got a bad angle on that, but this is, look at how quickly your fate in this race can change. You just get on the wrong line and suddenly you just move about 12 positions.
And I think that's what happened with Woo Bob High, because right now he ain't looking too sharp here.
No, he is off the front. He is in the back, but again, it is, look at those intervals. That's only a half second, and I mean, it's not going to take all that long. You can see how quickly people are moving up and down in this race. Jeff Tanaka is currently in 8th place. Reverend Pastor Chavez was pretty far behind. He's up to 7th right now.
He's making a move here.
Yeah, Reverend Pastor Chavez is looking good. Oh, he is making that move.
It's only lap 22. Oh, man, but I tell you what.
Oh, man.
They're making moves like it's the last lap of the damn race. And that's just the kind of stupidity and foolhardy aggression we love here in the Diddler Cup Series.
Yeah, pushing over 250 miles an hour on average on this track. And, of course, when they will need to pit, which we're thinking is going to happen in about 10 to 15 laps.
Yeah, I say we're about 10 to 15 laps away from pit.
They're going to get filled up with some high-quality, high-octane Beepus fuel. Beepus, the official fuel sponsor of the 2021 Diddler Cup Racing Series.
Beepus.
Beepus indeed. And look at this, we're back to where we were. Paul
See
alcohol.
what happens when you fill a Beepus in a tank full of some nobody else.
Exactly.
Mouth.
Well, look at that little now indeed, as Buckadoo is going to go ahead and retake this lead if he can hold it.
I don't know if I like him being that far ahead of the pack, though. I feel that the rest of this pack is just going to wind him up and then power on past.
Bring him back in.
We ain't seen nobody fall off the pace so far. It's just been so hard to not it's so easy to just stick with this pack as long as you have a good
in a circle.
That's fair, yeah. That's about as easy as it is.
50 miles an hour.
This is stupid as hell. And there are people that don't want to do this. Why would you not want to see this? This is dangerous. This is stupid. I love it.
Get your friends and tell them to put this shit on the television.
And then ask them why they watch any other racing series when they could just watch 32 cars go round in a circle 75 times, but doing it really, 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 really fast.
You know,
and look at that. There's our defending champion
in damn Angerland or what have you, where the top two just wrecked each other out in the first lap because they were trying to pass somebody, and then they were saying how you shouldn't pass nobody at that corner. Well, we say you can pass anybody in any corner you want. It don't matter. Nothing matters.
You can throw your panties at them.
You know how we fixed that problem? Lloyd, we fixed that problem by not having no corners on this racetrack. It's a dang circle.
That's right. The whole track's
Every turn is turn one. It's all turn one from lap 1 to 75. It's all turn one.
It's the Comcast Infinity Series.
Better be careful that we might get sued, but that's a very astute point. Lap 26, our new race leader is Giacomo in that number 4 Kiss War Machine. And
Dude,
look at that.
51 miles an hour.
It don't look like Gene. It don't look like Paul. You know, if it don't look like Gene or Paul, I'm pretty just assume it's Ace.
I'm going to have to do a little thing. That actually is, in fact, the Ace Frehley Sans makeup.
Right. That gut feeling was never wrong.
That is Ace Frehley, whose face is just splattered all over the front of that number 4 car. I don't know why. You know, they had the makeup paint schemes. And you know what? I like that. That was a clever idea. You know what? You're sponsored by your whole team is sponsored by the band Kiss. They throw their money at dumber stuff. Why not? So they just decided to paint each of the hoods of the car a different member of the band. And there's like, no, why don't we just do it with our actual faces too? And I'm like, nah, I got a question now. When I don't know who you are without the makeup, that's the problem.
If I may interject here, I think El Matador Toto Rosetta tried that with Air Supply also once. One time they had Air Supply splattered all over the front of his car because he ran into them.
Oh, geez. Well, I can understand why that looks so salty after that.
Very abstract. I like the design.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be smiling on any pictures if I'm sponsored by a car that just actually ran me over. However, today he has got an alternate sponsorship.
I got the insight here on Giacomo's car. This is, of course, his super speedway chassis. This, of course, that is, of course, the super speedway chassis known as the Kiss Damon.
Ah, okay. That's fair. That's a good chassis to have in there, I guess.
That's right. Of course, they have their short track chassis, which is known as Beth. They have their road and street course car, which is known as Cold Jen.
Fair enough. But we're looking at Jim Blossom for a second.
52 miles an hour.
Just getting faster and faster. And here's the thing: we're getting closer and closer to that pit window. And
this is how black holes form.
Well, you know, I think they'd welcome that here in Michigan.
Yeah, that's right. We could start up our own large hard-on collider right here on the track. Just two hard-ons colliding. That
sounds
up
painful.
against each other.
All of that sounds painful.
Two hard-ons colliding, but back to back, so it ain't gay.
Yeah. What? Huh? I'm confused. None of this makes sense. There's a circle, and these drivers are being jerks, and there's a hard-on collide. Everything is very confusing to me. Well, War Machine Racing is going 1-2 right now with an Iron Jeff right behind him. Jeff Tanaka going low, trying to bring Jim Blossom up. Tanaka did lead a couple of laps back at lap 4. He led 6 laps this race.
Here we go. We're going to start to see who has the fuel
People
mileage.
wonder why Woo Bob Ha is all the way in the back there. See, here's the strategy. If you run out of fuel, the momentum will still keep you around, even if you're out of fuel for at least about a good 5 laps.
You can't argue with that. That's just science.
That's right. That's like
physics.
That's right. If you put a magnet on the front of your hood, it'll make your car just run forever because the magnet will be attached to the hood of your car, and then you'll just keep going forward.
Yeah, it's all sheet metal. That's how it works.
If you put a magnet on your hard-on collider, it will increase the absorbency of the hard-on collider.
Totally my bag, baby.
It's science, and I found it on the internet.
And I found this.
I'm finding a 4-7 car for a split second, making a good charge for the lead of this race. Joe John Winchester was pretty far back. Let me take a look at my notes and see where he was.
And
Joe John Winchester
getting the push from Mario Andretti in the bird further back of the pack.
Blario
Andretti, Woo Bob Howe, but that's more Blario and Blandretti.
That's right. I mean, Mario Andretti is good at tracks like this. He's won Daytona, but nothing is like the Diddler Cup Racing Series, if you ask me.
Joe John Winchester started this race in 25th, and he is already challenging for the race lead. He slid right behind Jeff Shanice in that Jeff's Chinese car, but he's making a look again, but again, no one can catch Giacomo.
Winchester really get some momentum on the inside line. He might be able to take the lead, but you got to
stand at it here.
Woo.
That's right.
Look what he's got behind him. He's got Ricky Walton behind him. Ricky Walton has shot up this race as well. To be fair, he started 14th, but he's up in the top 10 right now. Again, very confused by Ricky Walton and the Walton camp. I was like, well, who's sponsoring your car this week? And they just kind of looked off into the distance and just said mountains.
Which is strange, because isn't that place known for its lakes?
Yes. I don't quite understand it, but, you know, the person in charge of
I think beer.
Yeah, the person in charge of HTE Bassmith Racing just said, you know, just kept contemplating the mountains and said, let's put mountains on a car. And I was like, okay, sure. Why not?
You know what? That's just a throwback to the way things were before all these sponsors and
Yeah, I guess.
corporate money started corrupting stock car racing. Which, of
That's
course, would be a
throwback,
good time for us to tell you about the official
Canada.
adult diaper of the Diddler Cup Racing Series, Resharp Premium Adult Diapers. That's right, premium. If you have to fill the seat of your pants, you might as well do it in the best of the best Resharp Adult Diapers.
Yep, most of the sponsors of the restart of the race. We ain't had one here. We're more than halfway through this goddamn auto race that Giacomo is leading. But Resharp Adult Diapers sponsoring the Diddler Cup. Taking a look at Jeff Shanice, who's got a teammate on the high line. He's side by side with him at the moment. He's running in fourth place. Steve Thompson, for a second, we had a camera on him for a split second. He's down in 24th. So we're starting to see the pack is starting to spread out a little bit. The faster cars are really starting to feel this race, and the cars that just don't have the setup for today are starting to suffer a little bit and trail off the back. We're 42 laps in. We're on lap number 42 of this 75 lap race. I'm kind of surprised that nobody been wrecking yet. Maybe they decided that it ain't worth trying to wreck somebody to. Maybe they've fallen into the general crippling apathy of the Desolate Ellipse.
Well, there's a lot of racetrack too. So I mean, you got people going 5 wide there. So
Yeah, they're really not for lack of trying. I'll give them that.
I trust these boys and drivers out here to be stupid as hell. Maybe we'll still have some of that. We'll see.
We'll see. I'm actually kind of surprised, but again, not for lack of trying. It's a big old wide racetrack. There's a lot of lines to run. We've seen it already. There's a lot of room for everybody, but that don't mean that they're going to think that and take that for what it's worth. But they also got to remember, we are racing again tomorrow night. So maybe they have that in mind. They got to keep they don't have the same time to prepare themselves to recharge their own bodies, their own human batteries, or sometimes animal batteries, as we do have a bear and a horse and a child in this race.
But see, that ain't me. When I was racing,
No.
I would give the fans a show the whole time. If it meant wrecking 20 other cars just to take the win, then getting disqualified, then getting a fight with not only the post-race vehicle inspector, but also the track promoter and about 3 members of the South Tucson Police Force, do it. Every single day, that's what I did.
Throwing hands.
Oh, I was just gonna say,
pits.
we're starting to see pit stops here at the green flag. 45 laps, pit window. Be damn, that was completely off.
This
This is a chance. So Giacomo and Mr. Naga's most glorious driver has stayed out in this race. So he's going to move all the way up there. And we're seeing that is Paul Alcohol going without his teammate. Interesting thought there.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's
I don't
questionable.
know about that right here. I mean, I know I ain't the sharpest bulb in the knife drawer, but I mean, that don't seem right to me.
That's kind of surprising. But what we're seeing here is an unlikely teaming of Mr. Naga's most glorious driver and Big Daddy Thibodeau yet to pit. They are the 2 cars still out on this racetrack, and Mr. Naga's most glorious driver in that number 10 car just picked up 5 points, and looks like he's going to go ahead and give Big Daddy Thibodeau the chance to get 5 big points as well, as they are pitting as well. The final 2 cars pitting on this race. And of course, they are the final 2 of these 32 cars to pit, as there are cars a lap down, but of course that'll all start to even itself out when they get back on the racetrack, as we see the first cars to start pitting were Nikolai the Soviet Driving Bear and some of the others. They're back on the racetrack. Bobrovsky as well in that Graybits car. And of course, as they were pitting, they are getting full tanks. They're getting some fresh tires. They're getting maybe they're removing their colostomy bags if they have them in their cars, but they're getting full tanks. High quality, high octane Beepus fuel, the official fuel sponsor of the Diddler Cup. Put a little Beepus in your tank. Beepus.
Vapes. And emergency corn dogs, too.
Yes, of course. Always emergency corn dogs. What we're seeing right now, interesting. Giacomo has led the race for several laps. And we're going to go ahead and see as people are starting to cycle through. The final cars that have pitted are back on the track. And it looks like Big Daddy Thibodeau and Mr. Naga's most glorious driver have, in fact, used their pit strategy to work to their advantage. Look at this. Now, everybody's still getting up to speed because Big Daddy Thibodeau down to 247. We saw that's 5 miles an hour less than what they were hitting earlier in this race. That's going to get reeled in, and we're seeing it already. Look at that. Giacomo only a second behind the number 10 car in third place. But
so you mean to tell me that Big Daddy Thibodeau, in the attempt to be the hero and try and prove he's better than everybody damn else out there, is going to end up losing this race? Well, I, for one, am shocked.
I mean, it's possible. He's going side by side with the 10 car, but there is now 4 cars pulled away.
Mr. Naga's glorious driver started this near dead to last, too.
Yeah, he, how did he start? I'm looking at my notes again. He started in 31st, back of the pack. And also
Almost
back of the pack was Kevin Boner-Pillman. Yeah, he almost went last to first. And he's going to go ahead and I think he's going to at least try to take the lead in this race. We are down to 25 to go.
Well, Mr. Naga's most glorious driver can get his hands around the car when he don't even have his pinky fingers. You ever notice that? He don't even have his pinky fingers
I think it's
on.
the fair of the fact that his hands have been around someone else or his neck saying, hey, you better win this race here or we still got your family.
He keeps telling me that he just lost his finger cutting vegetables or something. I mean, he also looks drastically different every time we talk to him, and he does want to tell us about it.
No.
I saw his finger one time got stuck in a bamboo tube.
I'll be honest, he ain't looked like the guy in that photo that you see at the beginning of the race and the starting grid for at least a couple of years now. It keeps changing, and I'll be honest with you, it ain't worth it to try to keep keeping up and getting photos taken. He's like, no, it's me. You have my photo. He keeps saying, you have my photo. Look at Boo and Jessup.
Weird.
Coming around here. Boo and Jessup in that number 9 Gumbo's car. You can see how all these cars started catching up to the 60 and the 10, who are still running in the top 5 right now. But it is the number 4 back in front. And Boo and Jessup in that number 9 Gumbo's car.
Came around to lead this last lap. Giacomo's getting the push from Mr. Knox's most glorious driver. Tell you what, that middle line's looking real quick.
It's looking, I mean, again, Lloyd, you know firsthand that the line in a track can change with the race. As that track gets warmer, as the cars start running a little smoother, as the cars start running a little more wear and tear on them, the situation of the race changes. You got to figure that out, and you got to know that.
Or you just got to drive like an asshole, let all the other factors fall where they may.
Also valid. Apparently, we're getting word that El Matador Toto Rosanna in that number 75 car sponsored by the University of Bob Seger had some sort of issues, fell off the pace. We're going to see if we can get some sort of info on him. We're going to try to get a word. I think it was just engine trouble is what it looked like. We're going to see if we can get a quick clip of that. I don't think it was any sort of crash. We would have had a caution for that. But
do you think the University of Bob Seger has a football team?
You know, I don't know. I know they do a lot of beards. They do a lot of beard-focused research there at the University of Bob Seger. Always great information out of the University of Bob Seger.
I'm just glad they take the old records off the shelf.
They always do, yeah.
Right.
Well, they got to break them. That's what happens when you break them. They take them off the shelf and put the new ones back on. But, yeah, I believe the University of Bob Seger, the Fat and Knot moves, I believe, are their athletics teams. The University of Bob Seger's Fat and Knot moves.
They are as strong as they could be.
They sure are, yeah.
And nothing ever doubted them.
Oh, no! We're getting word. Yep, they were seeing smoke pouring out of. That was smoke pouring out of the 75 car. Just confirming it. Yeah, there was engine trouble into the garage for the number 75 car. Bad luck for El Matador Toto Rosanna having a quiet day.
Too close to the sun.
He sure did.
He has trouble with the snap, and the ball is free. It's picked up by Michigan State's Jalen Watts Jackson, and he scores on the last play of the game. Unbelievable.
Talking about borrowing blind right again.
Lord, I'm confused.
Man, I don't know what to come up with.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. No, hey, I mean, sometimes you just gotta let the moment move you, and that's fine. And I'm not gonna deny a man of his own movements.
That's right. Of course, even if you were, I still got my race shorts on. Because you never know. It could be a bad day in the catering.
Always can be, yeah. And, I don't know. There ain't much to really... I ain't really trying to get too much of the local fair here in Hell, Michigan. I'm not entirely certain. But yeah, we're looking at the Gumboos car currently running in 6th place. And look at these intervals. We're seeing actually a break. The top 18 drivers, all the way down from Giacomo down to Fat Daryl, are at the front.
Half a second.
Half a second between 1st and 18th. And Paul Walker leads the second pack. And that 00 car fell off the pace. Looks like maybe didn't make the right changes. Maybe didn't make good enough changes in the pits. Maybe just didn't have the speed in the cars today. Walker is one of the ones that has led a lap. So is Bucky Dushine, his teammate. Not a good day for the Spubby cars, as the 00 and the 55 and the 11 car is all the way down at the bottom, not even on our screen. So a bad day for Spubby Mortports, but they'll be reassured in the fact that none of this matters, because it's the Nihilist Arby's Endless Monotonous Loop, which is what you're watching. 15 laps to go here at the Desolate Ellipse.
This will be the fastest race you watch, with average speeds in excess of 240 goddamn miles per hour.
We have hit over 252
even
today.
if we don't have wrecks.
And look at this, Mr. Naga's most glorious driver is now leading this race again with 14 laps to go. The slap mark car, number 99, Hans Vaspulver, is right behind him. Giacomo has his teammate Paul Alcohol at the top line. They have loved that high line. They are back in the high line again. Steve Winwood. But look at
this Australian kid, Vaspulver, I mean, he is just driving the wheels off this car.
Yeah, he is. He is looking great.
Indeed.
2 wins already for that rookie.
Mr. Naga's glorious driver that's getting the lead here.
Yeah, Mr. Naga's most glorious driver still yet to get an official series victory. Has won an all-star race. Yet to win a Diddler Cup race. Could this be the day? Looking at Fat Daryl right now. Fat Daryl has a teammate in this front pack in Doug Pork right to his right side. He's got Richard Blood right behind him. It looks like somebody's kind of falling off the pace. That might be Morris Mayfield. No, he's still kind of with it. There's a little bit of daylight between him and anybody in front of him.
Well, there's no corners here to get loose out of. If you're loose here, you might as well be going for a spin. Amazingly, these cars are all still playing in the ground. Again, over 245 miles an hour. And we know these drivers typically don't have the skill to race as clean as they do. But fair play to them. They're doing a great job.
Most of them don't even have the skills to race, period.
No.
And that's just why we brought him in.
That's how it always has been. That's how it always will be. You're seeing 2 big splits there. The number 10 car, sponsored by Most Glorious Honorable Mr. Naga, is leading this race with 10 to go. Giacomo in 2nd place. Hans Vaspulver right behind the leader in 3rd. Jeff Shanice at the bottom in 4th. But Bowie Jessup is making the charge.
Look at Hans Vaspulver. He's getting his
here we go.
Pushing down the middle line.
He wants his 3rd win of his career and of the season. This rookie is easily pushing to be Rookie of the Year. What a great driver Slapdong Corporate Racing has found to drive that 99 car. You know, that's the thing. When Jeff Tanaka left the 99 team to join Iron Jeff Racing in that 88 car, again, great move for Jeff Tanaka. Fantastic. People were wondering, is that slap mark car, is that well-known, iconic 99 car with the big handprint on it going to have someone that can drive it, or is it going to be a rookie that's going to take some time? The answer was it's a rookie. This rookie knows how to drive that goddamn car.
That's right. I mean, when you spend your entire career cutting your teeth and cutting some rugs at the pooping hose in the way that Hans Vaspulver has, you know, you're bound to be a skilled driver.
And look at this. Here's his teammate on the low side. His teammate is getting a push. Qualified dead last. Had to been something going on with the car. They had to make adjustments on. That's the only way you could explain why he would. That is not a car that qualifies poorly, typically the 15 car.
The purple helmet is rising up on the bottom line.
Oh, the Pen 15 fans. The Pen 15 fans are loving this. They are loving this. And look at that. Look who is still up at the front. The 2 cars that made what we thought was the gutsiest and possibly the dumb as hellest, yes, I'm saying dumb as hellest, decision to pit. The 10 and the 60, they're both still running top 5. Big Daddy Thibodeau is making a push for the lead. He's got Jeff Shanice right behind him. Big Daddy Thibodeau is pushing for the lead of this race with 6 laps to go. He's still up there. Whatever they did in the pits is smart. It worked.
Good.
And I'm not used to saying things people do in this race series is smart, but they do. 6 laps to go. It is we just passed lap number 69.
Nice.
And lap 70 is what we are on. 71 right now. 5 laps to go, and the 60 car is still riding in the middle. The
Here's
10
where
cars
we
at the
start
high
to see
line.
some drivers getting desperate. I
Yeah,
think
because
Bowie
Bowie
Jessup wants to take this win for himself. He said,
be amazing.
fuck help my teammate. I want to win my damn self.
But with Jessup's teammates, is of course his teammate is Richard Blood in that 51 car and Jean-Paul Henry in the 40 car.
Absolutely.
But with Jessup moving from the 22 team, Most Glorious Motorsports, driving the number 9 Gumboos car, another iconic car here in the Diddler Cup Series.
I got mixed up because I saw the 9 and the 99 and the 99.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. I got a 9.
The Brooklyn 99 and the
Yeah.
Swedish 99, the Minnesota 99, the 99, the 999.
Yes,
Good.
exactly.
Wow, way to go.
And remember, we don't have to take our clothes off to have a good time, but some of these drivers do have to take their clothes off to fight in the infield. But Bowie Jessup with 3 laps to go is making a push on Hans Vospulver. Vospulver has led this race since lap 67, led a single lap at lap 17. But Bowie Jessup is challenging for that, and Kevin Boner-Pillman, we might have a slap dong sandwich here with Bowie Jessup as the meat. Yep, last to first for Kevin Boner-Pillman. But let's not count out the 60 that is pushing along the number 9 car. Look at that. And it might usually be the Pen 15 causing that, but there is an extension up the middle that is getting longer and longer, and it ain't the Dongerex car, it is the 9. And look at here comes
Bowie
Big Daddy
Jessup got
Thibodeau
moved.
making a
Big Daddy
push.
Thibodeau goes the damn lead with 1 lap to go.
Here it is, final lap. White flag is out. Big Daddy Thibodeau has just passed Bowie Jessup for the lead this race. He has led 2 laps this race. But will he lead the most important one? Here comes the 15.
Now's your time.
Jeff
come
Shanice
on, Kevin
cannot get around
Boner-Pillman.
it.
Come on, Kevin Boner-Pillman. You can get a push up there.
They
Come
are
on, somebody
getting
push
around.
you in the front.
They are making the rounds. They are doing it, but it looks like it's going to be Tucson-Aid for the win. Big Daddy Thibodeau takes the race that don't matter, but it matters to him. He is the winner of the Nihilist Arby's Endless Monotonous Loop. Jeff Shanice taking 2nd place, Kevin Boner-Pillman in 3rd, Doug Pork 4th, Bowie Jessup 5th. We'll go through the rest, but your winner is the number 60 car. Lloyd, are you okay? Lloyd, you are shaking. You have spilled like half of your drink. Are you, Lloyd?
I think he's pretty
Why,
pissed.
why are we here? Just to suffer?
Yeah. I guess that's the thing to do here.
Well,
That
guess
sounds
so.
about right.
a 24th place finish for Wubai Bala, right behind Bobrovsky pulling into there. Look at that finish by Triple X Macklin. 6th place for that child. Amazing finish.
Yeah, good finish, Triple X Macklin. I'm proud of him and his progress this season.
Yep.
That's good.
But of course, the winner is his teammate, Big Daddy Thibodeau, the long-standing veteran coming out of South Tucson Motorsports.
Kevin
They have-
Boner-Pillman from last to third.
That is
Last to third. How about that?
impressive.
That's a
is
good drive right there.
So
that's
impressive.
an actual champion's drive right there. What Kevin Boner-Pillman just did. That's great.
No doubt about
Doug
that.
Pork,
Well,
too.
that is official. Your winner of this race, Big Daddy Thibodeau, in that number 60 Tucson-Aid sponsored car for South Tucson Youth Motorsports. And I'm just going ahead and I'm popping in I'm looking for my stats here just to get kind of some information for you here on Big Daddy Thibodeau. That is his 2nd career victory. He got 1 win in a previous season. His 1st win this season, his 2nd ever win. And let's go ahead, Lloyd. Lloyd, just kind of get your mind off a little. Let's go ahead and Talk about the rest of the top 10. Jeff Shanice, second place finish for him.
Jeff Shanice, second.
Yep.
Kevin Motor Pillman, third. Doug Porter, fourth. Boo just
Great
fifth.
finish for the 83 car.
Triplets Macklin in sixth. Again, you got that kid's 13 years old.
Yep.
Jeff Gordon, the horse, in seventh. I mean, that's a horse. Hans Weisspult for an eighth. Jeff Tanaka ninth. And Joe John Winchester almost made it 3 in a row.
Oh.
He looked strong early in the race,
finish,
but
though.
just couldn't get done. But yeah, that's good for his championship.
Did not even lead a lap. I'm very surprised. Joe John Winchester had such a good car. We saw him pulling forward. Could not get that extra 5 points. But Joe John Winchester, I'm just kind of looking for looking through my stats for his name here. He has now, that is his 5th top 10 finish this season, including 2 wins. That's outstanding. That's fantastic for him.
Yep.
Jeff Tanaka, 5th as well. Fifth top 10 finish this season. Jean-Paul
All 3
Henry.
gets to the top 10.
Yep, look at that. Great point, Beaumont. Great point, Beaumont. Iron Jeffs had a great day today. 3 top 10 finishes. That is a strong finish for Iron Jeff Racing, taking 2nd, taking 7th, and taking 9th. They had all their cars in the front. So that is something special as we go ahead and just make it official. The winner of this race is, in fact, making his 2nd ever career victory. He is officially qualified into the playoffs. It is Big Daddy Tippett on that 62 Sinead car. He is your race winner. Decided to be shirtless for that photo. Interesting decision. And let's take a look at the playoff field right now. 6 cars now become 7. Qualified into the playoffs. 7 spots taken. 5 races to go in what we're calling our regular season. Plenty more spaces. And look at our standings as it goes. Hans Weisspulver is your points leader. Kevin Boner Pillman jumped Jean-Paul Henry into 2nd. Henry was in 1st and dropped down to 3rd after that. And we're seeing some of the other movements there. Mr. Naga's most glorious driver made a good jump up the tables, as did Doug Pork. Before on that, we saw Giacomo jump up into the top half of the tables. And back at the look at Triple X Macklin jumped up 2 spots as well. But y'all, we're gonna be back on the air tomorrow night. We gotta get into some cars, get into some buses, head right down to Stone Mountain, Georgia. And
oh boy,
we are heading to Alternate Right Turn Speedway in Stone Mountain, Georgia. I'm sure that is named because you turn right on the course. It is a right turn looped course. For the Dyslexia Cares 005, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Do not go anywhere. You can go somewhere in the meantime, but make sure
we're going to have to go from Michigan to Georgia. I mean, that's no short trip.
No, we're going to be driving through the night. I'm going to try not to sleep behind the wheel. But sometimes it happens, and sometimes you wake up in somebody's pool, in your car, in their pool.
And 2 years later,
then you come out of a Sunoco cup and you're suddenly fine. Yeah, and that is going to be great racing action. We have seen such chaos at Alternate Right Turn Speedway in Stone Mountain, Georgia before. We have seen a pit crew member literally die. It happened. True.
It did. It happened because none of this matters.
No, none of it matters. Absolutely. But tomorrow night, it will matter. We head to Stone Mountain, Georgia for the Dyslexia Cares 005. Please do join us on this network, 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night, live from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Night racing for us at Alternate Right Turn Speedway. But I think it's time to go ahead and talk about some. We don't have too many replays. There weren't much for our crashes, but we're going to show some of the good racing that happened here. So we're going to go ahead and head over to the replays right now.
All right, here we go. Let's break down some of this action.
Yeah, no cautions this entire race. An unusual thing to be able to say that we didn't have a single caution. But nonetheless, we got things started. Basically, showing you all the different lead changes and all the good hard racing we saw. Paul Alcohol brought us to the green flag to get things started. And he led this race at the very start, lap 4.
see Jeff
It was
Tanaka.
Jeff
It looked
Tanaka,
like this
yeah.
middle line right here. You see that? Those
Yeah.
dotted lines right underneath the green line that tells
Yep.
the drivers how to take this perfect circle of a racetrack, just in case they forget.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fair.
that seemed to be the preferred line around the track.
At the
And we
very
go to
start of the
lap
race,
10.
it was, yeah. And then we see lap 10. It was Bucket Dushan taking the lead. He unfortunately finished 20th. He did lead 5 laps, and these are when he did. Lap 17, it was the 9-9 car that ended up finishing in the
They're
top
getting
10.
So close.
Only led it for a single lap before giving it up to that 00 car. As this was 1 lap later, it was Paul Walker in that Nihilist Arby's car.
The quality
The
of
namesake.
racing here is so good. The drivers here running 4 or 5 wide. I mean, you just don't see it anywhere else that matters.
Very clean race today.
It's just a shame that this crowd doesn't really seem like they care. Like, they got a really exciting goddamn auto race today, and they're all just sitting on their hands, just sort of staring off. Like, I'm not sure they ain't cardboard cutouts like what they were doing when they had that panhandle Demican in fried steak.
The Panhandle
But here's-
Demic, I mean, yeah, that happens in Upper Michigan a lot.
That's fair, yeah.
From what I'm
That's
told.
true.
When
Well,
you
this
fist fight
was-
hospital workers.
This was the moment of the race, as it turns out. Big Daddy Thibodeau and Mr. Naga's most glorious driver waiting to pit until the very last minute, taking their 5 points to lead a lap, and they found themselves right at the front of this race. Mr. Naga's most glorious driver leading laps, but giving it up for the time being to Bowie Jessup in that number 9 car. He is starting to figure this car out. Had a rough last season in his first year with that 9 car, that 9 team. A lot of big pressure, a lot of eyes are on Bowie Jessup, that young driver, that second generation racer. But El Matador Toto Rosanna did not have a good day. The only car that could not finish this race, engine problems, went right to the trailer. Hopefully a better try for the 75 team tomorrow. Man, Hans, we talk the world about Hans Vasspulver. I cannot say enough about that rookie, though.
That's right. He looked comfortable up at the front of the field, but with 2 laps to go, Bowie Jessup trying to make a move here.
Yeah.
And it looks like he just washes up the track a little bit. And yeah, he's just having trouble keeping that line. And yeah,
What's
like
amazing
David
is
Russ,
you
the
were
actor.
saying that was the line throughout the race. That was the best place because earlier, 1 lap ago, we saw the 15 and the 99 side by side with the number 9 and the 60 car.
here
But
it
that
is. Yeah,
middle
Bowie
line-
Jessup's going to wash up
Yep.
that line.
Yeah.
Good lead, Big Dad Thibodeau.
And that is how it all finished up. It was the 60 car getting the win at the very end. And that is how the race shaped up. Jeff Shanice, a 2nd place finish. A top 5 finish for Bowie Jessup. A top 5 finish for Doug Pork and Kevin Boner Pillman. Great days for them as well. Outstanding days for, I'm kind of looking at the Doug Pork qualified 29th. Kevin Boner Pillman qualified 32nd. Mr. Naga's most glorious driver, 31st. And they all finished, well, Mr. Naga's most glorious driver finished 11th, but they all finished in the top of this race. Big Daddy Thibodeau qualified 23rd and won the dang race. So that just shows how tough this race is, how you always have a chance at winning this one.
It sure does.
Well, I'm filled with personal anguish and torment, so I think that's about it for us. We are
I'm a
heading
limbo.
back. Yeah. This feels very purgatorial to me, I think. For being Hell, Michigan, we sure don't feel like it. It feels less committed to either side of it, but
He's for y'all to say.
yeah, well, just shows that qualifying don't matter. Nothing matters.
Yep.
None of this matters. We need
Nothing
to get
matters.
y'all. We need to get out of this place. This is affecting all of us. I think we're gonna have a better night tomorrow night. We're in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Believe me, if there's anything I know about that place and that speedway, is that the people there actually care about a lot of things, whether it's good or bad. They at least have opinions, and boy, are they loud about them.
That's right.
It's a good place to go after this weird limbo Dante level of
Limbo pizza?
Oh, I can go for pizza. We gotta get somewhere away from here, though. I can't find. Let's get on the road a little bit. Let's find someplace with pizza. We're probably gonna drive through someplace that's gonna have some.
Doesn't have
I want to go to. I want to go some famous Italian pizzeria like Sbarro.
That's not a bad idea. Let's go to Sbarro's. I'm assuming.
I'm assuming Little Caesar. Just somewhere where we can get away from a place where people have the lack of accountability, like a pack of dead Schembechlers.
That's fair. Yeah, that's entirely fair. Well, that's time for us. That's time for us. We are gonna go ahead and call this a timeout with no timeouts left. But this has been a goddamn auto race. And it has been an experience that we will hopefully soon forget as far as the experience at Hell, Michigan, but a race that we will not soon forget. We will be back again here on the air in just over 24 hours tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Do not miss it. It is the Dyslexic Hairs 005. This has been the Nihilist Arby's Endless Monotonous Loop. That is Latin and Lord Shivers. That is Beaumont Jenkins. I literally just pointed despite the fact you're only hearing my voice. That is literally what I'm doing right now. I'm pointing to the imaginary people on either side of me. I don't understand what matters. We'll see you next time. It has been a goddamn auto race. I don't know what is happening at this point. I need pizza, and I need to feel something. I just need to feel something, y'all.
I need to feel pizza. You wanna go back to back?
I'll take.
That's something. I mean, it's something I'm gonna feel, but something you're not gonna feel. I'm not gonna feel you. You're not gonna feel me. I mean, we can put two TV screens, but I can put a separator wall in between them.
I need to get the pizza before I contemplate that.